Okay, so thank you for your time today. And I'm Louis. What's your name?
Hannah,
Anna.
Jenny,
Jenny. Okay, so I'm glad to meet you. Where are you from?
Germany,
Germany.
Germany.
Okay, so you guys are traveling in Japan.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay, so how many days do you plan to stay here?
15 days. Yeah.
15 days.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you an employee or are you an employee or employed?
I am employed.
Employee. And
I'm a student, but I've been employed in the past.
okay, so you're going to
Yeah.
be
Okay.
employed. Okay.
Yeah.
So first, I want to ask you about what do you do? What's your job?
I'm a project manager.
Project manager.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like a IT company.
Something like that. I work with mostly digital stuff like
Oh, digital.
websites
Yes.
and chatbots, stuff like
Okay.
that.
Okay, I see. And you're a student. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So regarding, I want to ask you about holidays
Yes.
because in Japan,
Yeah.
the laws ensure 10 paid holidays per year,
Yeah.
and after 6 months joining the company, but most Japanese people don't use them all for a year.
Okay.
So how many paid holidays do you have for a year?
I mean, like, by law, every employed person in Germany has 20 days paid.
20 days in a row.
And for my company, I have 30 days.
30 days in your company. Oh, that's your company is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most German companies are good, actually.
Oh, most.
So also, like, every time you work overtime, you can take those times off as well. Some
Oh,
offer
really?
like payment
Yes.
instead of it, and some just say just take the
Oh, so you can
hours off.
save if you work overtime.
So usually for me, I have about 40 days or something that I can just take off and get paid.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So that's a kind of motivation for you to work overtime, isn't it? Because if you overtime, you get a lot of holidays, right?
I mean, yes, but also I can just like I don't have like required times where I have to work.
Yes.
I just have to do what I need to do.
Okay.
So that means I don't have to work like 10 hours a day. I can
I
just
see.
work 6 on one day, I can work 10 on the other.
Oh, you can choose.
I can choose when I work.
Wow.
And usually it's just Monday to Friday work, so I don't need to work on Saturday or Sunday.
So Saturday and Sunday is off. So you work
Off.
Monday to Friday, 8 hours in a day.
8
Or
hours in a day.
8 hours in a day.
Usually.
So 40 days in a week.
40 hours.
40 hours. Sorry,
Yeah.
40 hours in a week.
But I can choose if I want to do like 35, for example, or like 42 in a week, depending on how much stuff I have to do.
Oh, you can control your work time.
Exactly.
So is it most company in Germany can do that, or it's kind of special for your company?
I mean, I think it's more the usual for agencies like mine, not
Yes.
like a big corporations like, I don't know.
No, it's quite the usual thing actually. Like my mother, she works in the hospital in
Yes.
the laboratory, and she can do the same thing.
Oh,
so
really?
it just
So-
has to be exact at the end of the month or at the end of the year. So you have to do an amount of time you have
Yeah.
worked, but when you do the work exactly, is not important. or
It's
not
very
that
common to do
important.
that. In,
Yeah.
Wow.
It's quite common.
I mean, it's more normal to have certain work hours if you work like in customer service, like
Yeah.
in supermarkets
Yes.
and stuff like that. There you have to be on time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But office work, I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. So, you say you have 40 days, 40 paid holidays. Do you use them all in a year, or you will leave that to the next year?
I can take days that I haven't taken in a year to the next year in the first 3 months, so I can just take them extra.
Okay.
Which I also did right now because I took 5 extra days.
Oh, so but most people use them all for a year, right?
I would say like the 20 days you have by law, everybody
Oh yeah,
uses
20
them.
days.
Yeah, but then like
Minimum.
the extra you can take, it's a give and take, whatever you want to do. Some people take, I don't know, 2 weeks off, others take like the whole 6 weeks off.
6 weeks off.
And then we also have like our holidays, which are also quite a lot.
Wow.
So
So when you apply your paid holidays to your boss, like I want to take for 1 month or 20 days, your boss never complained that?
I mean, depends. Usually, if there's somebody that can take over, it's fine. But normally, he's not that opposed to it. He just goes like, "Yeah, what is your job? Are you done? Are you done? Yeah, then take the day off.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
So if you finish the job, so no pressure.
No
to do
pressure.
that.
No.
I see.
Sometimes they even force you to take your off days. So they say you have like 5 holidays left in the year, and the year's coming to an end, so you have to take them.
Yeah.
So sometimes they force you, or you're going to be paid these days
Okay.
if you really can't take them right now.
Yeah. By my company, for example, if you have like overtime
Yes.
and you have like more than 20 hours in 3 months, you
Yes.
have to take them. For me, for example, I have like 30 right now,
Mhm.
and then they knock on my door and go like, "Take your holidays."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's very great.
So usually then we just start later, go early on Friday, stuff like that to get rid of them.
Okay, so that's very different compared to Japan because when you enter the company after 6 months, you get 10 days, only 10 days.
Yeah.
But most Japanese people don't take 10 days in a year. So the government forced them to take only 5 days minimum, and we take that separately, not consecutively, right? Because if you do that, I want to take 5 days off and I want to go travel. There is kind of pressure to do that in Japan.
I mean, we also have something else, for example, but not every company does that. It's called sabbatical. So
Sabbatical.
sabbatical. It means like, for example, you can take off like 2 weeks to 6 months from your company if you work there for a certain time and just travel the world.
Oh, really?
And depending on the company, it's paid or unpaid.
It's like so when you are on holiday, you can get paid, full paid.
Yeah. Like the sabbatical, for example, if you do like the 2 weeks sabbatical, it's easy to get it when you do something like self-finding stuff,
yes,
like
yes.
you do some
Looking for
course or
yourself.
something, like a language course or something, if it's required, and then you can get a sabbatical for that. That's extra vacation.
Wow. And another extra thing I want to ask you: do you have sick leaves, right?
Yes.
In Japan, we don't have sick leaves.
Oh.
So can you please explain what sick leave is briefly, please?
Sick leave is when you are sick and want to stay home and not work. My company, for example, usually what we have to do in Germany is we have to like go to the doctor, get like a piece of paper that says you're sick, stay at home. For my company, for the first 3 days I'm sick, I don't have to go to the doctor.
Oh, so you don't need
Starting-
certificate
yeah.
document.
So if I'm feeling like a bit hungover or something, I can just stay
Just-
home.
So what do you do? So when you wake up in the morning and you feel, oh no, I don't want to go to work today, you call your boss or you email your boss?
I just email him, I'm sick.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like I'm hungover all the time. God, no. It's just.
But you don't want to go to company.
I mean, I don't have to go to my company. I can work from everywhere in the world.
All right.
So I work
Remote.
remote mostly. So I can also, if I decide to, for example, work from another office, I can just go there. Doesn't really matter.
Okay. So, but you use sick leave when you feel you don't want to work today or you feel kind of tired.
I mean, some do that. Yes, I'm more of a workaholic, to be honest. Explains the overtime hours I have. But most people, like when they feel like a bit like they're getting a cold or something,
Yes,
they just
yes.
take 1 or 2 days off to get a bit rest,
Okay.
and then they start again. And sick leaves, for example, when you start the 4th day and have to go to the doctors, you go to your doctors, make an appointment. They send your paper directly to your company,
Okay.
and you don't have to do anything anymore.
How long do you have for sick leaves? How much days? I mean, 1 month, 2 months.
Really depends on how sick you are.
How
Like
sick you
if
are.
you're really in the hospital for several months, that's fine too.
Usually it's like full. There's a difference. I think it's like 6 or 8 weeks are full payment if you're sick.
Yes.
With like something like that, and if you're sick longer, it gets a bit smaller, like a certain percentage is getting taken
not
off.
full amount of your salary. I see.
I don't know, it depends on the company. For me it's like, I think 8 weeks I can be fully sick and just get full payment.
I see. So in Japan, during COVID-19 or like a flu, if you get flu, you need to use your paid holidays
Oh.
in Japan because we don't have sick leave, so you cannot travel. If you use that.
Yeah, I'm sorry for you.
Right. So next thing.
Also very important thing.
Yes.
If you travel and you get sick and you go to the doctors, you can give them the paper and you get your holidays off back and you can take them again.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So
even if we are sick on holidays, we can just take the days off and take them again.
so it's like it's better to get sick when you're on holiday, right?
I mean, depends if
Because
you are
can
in
go
another.
twice or
I mean, if you are at home taking your days off and can go to the doctors, that's easy. But if you are somewhere else, it's
right.
a bit more difficult. Like with the whole Germany is a lot of documents,
Alright.
just like here. So
I see. Okay. So does your company host a team drinking party? Do you have drinking party in your company?
yeah, we do.
Oh, you do?
We
So-
also have like a yearly party for like the 60th of the company and so on.
Oh, really? So you need
So-
to join.
Yeah.
So is there any pressure to deny to join the company's drinking party?
No, there's no pressure at all.
So if you don't want to, you
We
say
don't have
no,
to.
I don't want.
Yeah. Also, if we have like a get together or something, it's completely fine if you join or you do not join or you go early. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's pretty casual.
Pretty casual.
Yeah.
So in Japan, like every month we have a drinking party, and like a whole team with your boss, you need to go. So you cannot deny
Oh.
mostly. So if you deny, people will like look weird. Why? Yeah.
I mean, for my company, because we have a lot of remote workers,
Oh,
when
yeah.
we get called into the office, usually my boss is like, please, everybody that lives here, you come because we have the remote workers here.
I see.
Entertain them.
I see.
But if you have something to do, that's fine.
Okay. So remote work is common in a company.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. So in Japan, you have to be very careful about interpersonal relationship at work because seniors or manager or boss behaving overwhelming and dominant behavior.
Oh.
So are sexual harassment or verbal harassment and workplace bullying, is it common in your country?
Depends on the company.
Yeah, that's not unheard of, and I don't know if it's common. Like,
I mean, I'm at my company because things like that don't happen there.
Sorry, what was that?
Things like sexual harassment and
yeah.
stuff like that, I never
You
encountered
never heard
it.
of that?
So we are all very, very friendly.
I think in some places where it's a more traditional working environment
Yes.
with a lot of older people working there,
Yeah.
I think I would say it's more common, maybe.
Like a blue collar or construction or
Yeah,
Yeah,
I worked at
or-
an airport communication,
yes.
and they were really big on bullying.
I see.
So it was just like time period there, like 6 months working,
Yes.
and then I was just like, yeah, whatever. I'll be gone in 6 months.
Oh, so is it often changing job is kind of common in your country because Japan, if you change job, your salary will get lower here mostly.
okay.
Oh,
So changing job is kind of negative in here in Japan. So people work for the same company after graduate university, like 10 years or 40 years sometimes. But how about in your country?
I mean, usually for us, we like especially young people switch their jobs like I think every 3 years or so and get more.
Okay, 3 years. Every 3 years.
But me, for example, I worked at my company as a part-timer while I was studying already, like for about 6 to 7 years. And then I started full-time. And I don't get that much. But I have so many free choices in between that I don't care.
So changing job doesn't affect you.
No,
No.
usually you
Negative.
change your job because you get better pay
Better
somewhere
pay,
else.
you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
better
I see.
working conditions. So that's
Yeah.
the main reason people change their jobs, and it's
And
very
me-
common.
Yeah,
I
me,
see.
for example, I have those non-times. I have the extra days. I can take my dog into work wherever I want. I can work wherever I want. So there's no reason
It's
for me
very-
to change.
Yeah, right. That's very true. So, do you have side jobs?
No,
No. So
I like my free time.
okay, you don't want to work, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So in Japan, side job in a law it's okay, but company doesn't allow you to do mostly.
Oh.
So because you need to have loyalty to the company, you want to work for the company.
Yeah.
How about your country?
Sometimes, I mean, some people do work 2 jobs, but it's mostly
Yeah.
they work 80% at one company and 20% at the other company, so they
Yeah.
don't do more hours in 1 week than
Okay.
if they were at just one place.
Mhm.
And it's just mostly if they have interest in the other company, so they want to like. My father, he worked at the hospital, and at the
Yes.
same time he worked at a pharma company.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
so because they wanted his knowledge and they wanted his input, so he worked at 2 jobs. So that's kind
kinda
of
normal.
common. So, but you don't really need to work 2 jobs mostly.
It depends.
Yeah.
I can
right.
also like work a part-time job if I wanted to.
Mhm.
But the first thing is I have to tell my employer that I'm doing that, and the second requirement is that it's not a job that is in like concurrence,
They're not competing.
not competing. So I'm not doing
I
like the
see.
same job somewhere else as well.
Right.
If I
right.
would be doing that, I would get like
Right. Because information or
Yeah.
intelligence thing. Okay. I see. So the last question. What are your thoughts on the Japanese work culture and the way Japanese people work compared to your country?
it's terrible.
That's pretty harsh.
Yeah, I mean, like just sometimes you just feel a bit off, and you have like 10 days, and like I think you have like the golden week, which is like your
Right.
own only holiday really. And I'm like for German people, we have like the different holidays, and depending on the area you live in, you have more or less.
Okay.
And they constantly complain about that. Like constantly, you have one more day than me. I have to work. Why do we? And just having even less for work, yes. Or like the long hours you have and everything I've seen so far. It's just I could
Right.
never work in Japan. I'm so sorry.
I have
Okay.
a friend, and she's getting married to a
Japanese?
Japanese man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they don't really know where they're going to live in Germany or in Japan, because she doesn't really want to work in Japan, and I understand completely.
Yeah.
I see. So thank you for the time today. The interview is finished. Thank you.
Welcome.